hard act to follow. So I'll talk long enough, Bryce, so that you don't have to be segued directly after the young and beautiful. It can be the old and beautiful. Vocab mentioned that she's going to be on the air with me on Friday. Bryce is going to be on the air with me on Tuesday. This is the 8th year that KRTU, this is again part of the synergy we're talking about, that KRTU has done on their lunch hour program, jazz poetry, and I sit in as a co-host with the folks and invite folks in. So Bryce will be there all day from noon to 1 on Tuesday. Vocab will be there on Friday, and there's programming throughout the rest of the week. So, what a pleasure to introduce Bryce Milligan and salute Wings Press. 40 years. 40 years of Wings Press. I was lucky enough in a former life, and I'm not talking mature and planning here, I was lucky enough in an earlier part of my life, my pre-Texas life, to live in a city that had a great literary community. And no small press, and no small literary magazine. So much that happened, this was also not pre-videotape, but pretty close, much that happened was fleeting. We did it, and we loved it, and it was great, but it disappeared. There's no record, there was no archive, there were no beautiful books, and when I moved to San Antonio, and if you heard Mike Burke say, my most recent book was published by Pecan Grove Press in 2010. Bryce and Wings Press is publishing my next book in 2017. So it's personally very powerful. But when you ask Bryce for material comments, things that people have said, bio, Bryce's short bio is longer than most people's long bio. He is a prolific, award-winning author in numerous genres ranging from children's books to novels, for young adults to adult poetry and criticism. A recipient of the Texas Library Association's Lone Star Book Award, Best of the Year picks by both Bank Street College and Publishers Weekly, the Gemini Inc. Award for Literary Excellence in 2011, and St. Mary's University President's Peace Commission's Art of Peace Award in 2012 for creating work that enhances human understanding through the arts. The Bloomsbury Review called him a literary wizard. So if he brings a stick up and turns you all into frogs, well, you've been forewarned. Anyway, he has been the publisher, editor, and book designer of Wings Press since 1995. I'm not going to go through how many books Wings has done in that period of time. Many of them, there are a group of them on the table. Bryce adds for free. I hope you noted that. I had the pleasure of calling Bryce a friend, and a colleague, and of seeing his work as it works, and sharing countless meals and critiques of a number of interesting poets, some of whom you might know, together. Bryce and I and a number of us are reading Tuesday night at St. Reggie at 6:30. It's a part of, we're in a group together and we meet. So, I will read you a couple of people's comments because they seem appropriate. Jane Hirschfield writes about Bryce's new book, which is coming out in September, called Take to the Highway, from West End Press, a very fine small press. Bryce Milligan's Take to the Highway is a book of big heart, big mind, and a big 8-cylinder engine, bringing poems, especially the stretched-out prose poems, of distinction and evocative power. I gave 3 of the prose poems to George Prado, and on Tuesday, George and Bryce are going to do some working with them live on the air. So tune in, these things disappear. Juan Felipe Herrera, the poet laureate of the United States, wrote, "Streaming with wisdom and clear mind." You like that one? I especially like this streaming part. Milligan unfolds muraled passages of consciousness, come asunder with some wild desire. In this shifting play of perception, memory, fast, long line, and prose fevers, we are given the hallelujah of envisioning, which is the diamond-eyed gift of this superb collection, tour de force, necessary materials for the road ahead in these times. Of an earlier book, Sandra Cisneros wrote, "Here is a life lived on the strength of words, the memory of love. Poems wise as clouds, poems as witness as testimonial. Milligan is the one who casts his luck, echa su suerte con pobres y los pobres y los muertos. A drum song, a bell song to set free the paper cranes in all our hearts." I threatened at one point, actually last night at the opening of his exhibition, which you all should see at Field House as well, that I would read the Iliad in ancient Greek, because we had, and Bryce inimitably said, "Well, I'll follow it with Beowulf in the early English." So, and he would, and I couldn't. So, and Rose Katakolos said that she would critique my pronunciations of the Greek. So you are spared the Iliad. You are even perhaps, although I won't guarantee it because I do know Bryce, the rendition of Beowulf. But if Ellen Clark would come up, please. We do have a presentation for Bryce.